going to do today is set up a new envelope budgeting account, just to give you an idea of how the site works. So I've made up this user here, Johnny Doe, and so we're logged in. And so there's really only there's two sections and then the import section. So three things to do really in envelope budgeting. We have our accounts, we have our envelopes, and we have import transactions. So the first thing we need to do is make some accounts. So I'm going to add an account. Let's just call this, oh, well, why not Chase Checking? It's a checking account. Initial balance we'll say is $1,000. And what you want this to be is the account balance on some particular day. And that'll be the day where the envelope budgeting is going to start for you. So we're going to say it's September 1st. Okay, so now we have our Chase checking. It started at 1,000. If we peek in here, we can see there's only one transaction. And now we're going to make up Chase credit card. And is a credit card, we're going to say the initial balance is 0. And it also started September 1st. And now we've got our two accounts, and then if we go to envelopes, you'll see there are two system envelopes. There's sort later and there's income. Sort later is just an envelope to throw things into when you're in the import process, and you just either don't have time or you need to go figure out what something was. And income is just kind of like the slush bucket, kind of the place to just store transactions. When you have a paycheck come in, you just can put it in income. And so you may want to go ahead and add envelopes. We're just going to go ahead and add a standard one here, right? Like you probably have a utilities envelope. Let's say for us, we're going to say it's 400 a month, not 4,400. Initial starting balance, we're going to say 0. If you're coming from another solution, you may want to pick September 1st, and then you can pick the starting balance that you had in the other solution on September 1st, which is what I did. And so I could pick whatever my starting balance was. So we could say it's 100, whatever. And now if we were to look in utilities, we can see that it is currently 100 available. The monthly budget is 400. Spent this period 300. I probably need to fix that. That doesn't seem right. If we go back to envelopes, we can see an income, like it went ahead and subtracted the new envelope. Don't really worry too much about what income says. That's just a place to make everything kind of line up. And so now what we're going to do is go to import. And I have made a, where is it at? I made a demo. We're going to upload and parse it. And it found 20 transactions. And we're going to say these were credit card transactions. And so this is generally how you're going to import transactions in envelope budgeting. Is you're going to need to get either a QFX file or a CSV file from your bank or credit card or whoever, and so the software does not go get it from your bank. So that's both good and bad. I've used software where when you go to get it from your bank, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, or you have to re-input your credentials every time. And so when it works, that software is obviously easier to use than mine. But with this one, once you get used to downloading it, it's just going to happen. And then I've added a bunch of features to make the import process just a lot faster than anything else I've used. And so let's take a look at these transactions here. You know, we have Amazon. Well, what in the world got purchased as Amazon? I don't know. Sort later. Coffee, Target, all these different things. Netflix. Well, Netflix, we'll say that is utilities, right? Um, Chevron might go in the car budget because it was a gas station. Chipotle in your dining out or eating out budget. Spotify. You know, in our house, Spotify is a utility. It's just something we're going to pay for. AT&T is a utility. Um, Dunkin' Donuts not a utility. Uh, Walmart, Disney. Okay, payroll deposit. Well, we're gonna say this was an account transfer and it came from Chase checking. You know, probably not realistic, but just so we can see one of these happen. So we're gonna hit import transactions, and now the first thing we can see is if we go to our Chase credit card account, we can see all of these transactions that we've imported. And we can also see the balance for our Chase credit card is 784.65 on September 30th. And one thing you can do real quick just to make sure the import went smoothly and everything worked well is we could hit reconcile and choose that September 30th date, and then we could go to our Chase credit card and make sure that's really what the balance was. And so let's see, what was it? Let's just do it right quick. 784.65. All right, reconcile. 784.65, and that was on September 30th. And we're going to select all, and we can see the difference added up to 0. So that's good. Reconcile, and then we have this green check mark, and it just shows us that our Chase credit card import went great. Everything's up to date. Now from the envelope side, you know, we have our one envelope, and then we have sort later with negative 1477 in it. And this is where we need to go through and do our budgeting and make sure everything came out okay. Um, so looking here, CVS Pharmacy. In our house, this would go in healthcare. Um, and I don't have that envelope. So I would go to envelopes, add envelope, uh, healthcare. Is that one word or two words? We'll go with one word. Let's say healthcare in our budget is 500 a month. This isn't health insurance. This is just co-pays or whatever. Um, Starting balance, we're just going to leave it blank for 0. Um, and I know we had that one. I remember we had, we're just going to call it the car budget. Monthly budget for this envelope, $1,000. That'll get our car payment and gas and everything. So if we went to sort later, we can now say CVS Pharmacy was healthcare, and that'll disappear. And that Chevron one is going to go into the car budget. Whole Foods, we need a grocery envelope, you know. So groceries. Also, maybe we want a dining out envelope. Okay, let's go back to sort later and finish getting this done. DoorDash, that sounds like dining out to me. Disney Plus, oh, that's a utility, right? Um, Dunkin' Donuts, more dining out. That's a big budget in our house too. Chipotle, dining out. Whole Foods, groceries. Starbucks, dining out. Amazon is, oh, we don't know what that one is. We'd have to go look it up. And you know, this is a problem in our house. Is we have 25 Amazon purchases, and I do have to go through and figure out pro tip: if you have the Amazon Chase card in that website, you can figure out what each purchase was. Uber, Uber goes in the car. Um, Costco is almost always groceries for us, so it'll go in groceries. Home Depot, for us, we have an envelope called, I call it DIY. I hope it's DIY, but really, you know, keeping a house up to date in Austin's expensive. So that 1,000 a month helps us do. Uh, Wait, what am I doing? I'm just randomly clicking. Envelope, sort later. Let's keep. Uh, when your AC goes, for us, it comes out of DIY because you need to spend another 7 grand on an AC installed. Um, and let's see, we got Apple. Maybe you got yourself something, and so in our house we'll call that his personal because we have a his personal and we have a her personal. I need to put some money in there. Let's say it's 500 a month. The other one, her personal. Where did that go? Her personal. Edit envelope. Oh, I did give her money. I didn't give him money. Is that what I did? Yeah. Let's give him money, 500. Right. And now let's go back to sort later. And so this Apple, it was an electronics purchase. But let's say he bought I don't know. What did he buy? He bought an iPod because it's not 2025. Right. He bought an iPod, so it goes in his personal, and we'll update the envelope. And this Target purchase, retail purchase. So she bought new yoga pants, right? And we'll say it's her personal. I mean, you don't have to put a note in, but it helps. I find when it's his and hers. Amazon, you know, maybe this was groceries. You got a bunch of food from Amazon. And Walmart, uh, new TV, which in our house would be the DIY. And now sort later has nothing in it, which is generally where you want to get. And now we can see our car budget. Um, yeah, we allocated 1,000 monthly, but nothing's been put in it yet. So all the envelopes are showing negative, and so what happens is when we um, when we set the monthly budget, each month on the first, right? Like, yeah, each month on the first, it's gonna put the $1,000 in. But when I set up these envelopes, I didn't give them a good starting balance, so they're currently all negative right now, and because I didn't give them a starting balance, right? Except for utilities. And so utilities we can see is only negative 28, even though we had these other items come in. But if we fast forward through time on November 1st, car budget will get $1,000 and it won't be negative anymore. Um, so while probably should have filled out these budgets with something to start with, it actually highlights one of the things that I do like about envelope budgeting and why we use it, and that is the envelopes can go negative, totally up to you. This is just a tool, it's not a structured environment like a lot of things. But the other good thing is things roll over too. So if I don't spend anything else in the car budget, on December 1st, I will have $2,000 minus $116 will be in this envelope, and it'll keep adding up. And that's really helpful for things like the DIY budget, where if you need that new AC, maybe this envelope does go negative $6,000, but then since it's 1,000 a month, if you go several months without any big purchases coming in, it'll totally pay off. And also, you can let this thing start running up to 10 grand, right? And that 10 grand will help you when that hailstorm comes in, because it's just sitting there in the envelope ready to be used. Um, so this is just a short introduction to the website. You add in your accounts, you add in your envelopes, and then you import your transactions. Uh, and those are really the three main things that you do. One of the things that I do that makes this site different than other sites is the sort later. Um, and then there's a bunch of little features that aren't highlighted here, but I'll just show you a cool one. If you come in here, get AI description, this is going, we all know what Costco is. But if this happened to be a payee that you didn't know, you went to that little coffee shop somewhere with a weird name like Intelligentsia and you forgot about it, well, you can hit the AI description and the AI will try and help you remember what that merchant was. And you go, oh, it was coffee. It shouldn't be in groceries, it should be in dining out, right? And another thing that this is going to do is as you import, um, it's right now, it's probably not going to do anything fun. Actually, we're going to choose the checking account, even though it's the same file, because what I want you to see is when you go to import again, the back end is going to try and match up your transactions. So it knows Costco transactions now are groceries. AT&T Wireless is utilities. And so the second time, the third time, as you continue to use the website, more and more often, it's going to know exactly what your transactions were. And see here, I didn't have to select anything, it just did it. And it had this skipped up here because the things that were account transfers, it auto matched. It was like, oh yeah, that transfer's already happened in the past. I know about it. So that's it. That's a short, sweet introduction to my envelope budget website. Feel free to reach out to me through Contact Us with any questions, thoughts, or comments. Thank you much.